All right. Welcome to the wedding brief with Alex Richardson and myself, Raquel Bickford. This is our first recording of this episode for our new podcast. And what's really exciting is that we are recording right after the live coaching calls for the La Pearl Legacy membership program. So every week we have a call with every member and we talk about what they're going through right now in the industry and how our sales and how our ads and what are we doing about our egos and when do we take the wedding paycheck and really just get real and raw. And then Alex and I get to have a great discussion for you all to listen to right after. So, welcome, Alex.
Welcome, welcome. Yep, that was a fun coaching call that we had. Very interesting. And it's good to hear. It's just so nice to understand where people are. We, as also working in industry, get to kind of relate with people, and we all. It's like this. It's just a fun community to to kind of work off each other and help each other out with ideas and stuff. And it's just pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah.
I felt really great. It was a small group today, and that's the beauty about what we're doing right now. The start of the La Pearl Legacy membership is that you do have this opportunity at the beginning to really get some one-on-one time with Alex and I. And I think that the group that was there today showed up and they
hmm
had their questions ready and we had real raw conversations. And I think that it was really great that there was the wedding planner side of things and the insight that I had. And then of course, like you're in it as well with the photo and
hmm
video side. And I think
hmm
that's really rare in this industry to hear both sides. We're not guessing on one side or the other, which was really
Yep.
nice.
And how talented are they? Amazing
Yeah.
work.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely. I
wow.
think that they all of them were perfect for the program because they already
Yep.
have the beautiful work and the beautiful portfolios. It's just now
It's gonna
about
yep.
how do we get more qualified leads to meet our goals for
hmm
2026. And
Yep.
now they're booking 2027, which I'd love to talk about what's going on with the year of 2026 for everybody.
I know. So wild.
But yes, they were all talented, and I believe they all checked their egos at the door because, yes, even though
Yep.
their work is so incredible,
hmm
everyone still needs help on how to scale and grow
Yeah.
and connect with wedding planners and how to respond to cold leads.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
I really wanna start talking about, you know, maybe our insight on what our 3rd quarter goals are, and then how
mm
our group were responding to what their needs
hmm
were for 3rd quarter,
hmm
and
Yeah.
how we were talking about how 2026 is a slow year.
Yeah. 100%. And we're all kind of in that same boat. It feels like,
Yeah.
just not really quite at our goals. I mean, it just depends at where you are. Like, like what type of weddings you're taking on, what your pricing is and stuff. Sometimes you gotta check your ego a little bit when it comes to pricing. Like, if you're overpriced, then, you probably have less weddings. It's such a fine balance. It's interesting. Yeah.
I still think well, no one knows what I was thinking, so I think that
Mhm.
even when you have the couples who have the budgets of 300,000, 400,000,
Mhm.
in our economy right now, they want that money to stretch as
Hmm.
far as possible. And a
Yeah.
lot of times, most of their budget is going towards their venue and that
Mhm.
really high food and beverage minimum. I was talking about
Hmm.
this on the call. And
Mhm.
you were mentioning, well, wedding planners should be this percentage, right? And photo and video should take up this percentage. And I was saying, no, like
Yeah, that's
throwing that out
interesting.
the door. It really is based upon what their overall budget is, what their design is going to be, and how their wedding planner structures their budget and allocates funds to each vendor. And I
Hmm.
was saying in the group, I was saying photo and video are super important for our couples. They're
Yeah.
investing a lot in the design. So it's how do I maximize the design budget, but also get an incredible photo video team or one photo, one video company.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think I was coming from the perspective also of like, well, what if I get a client or potential client that doesn't have a planner or is
Right.
not going to spend a lot of money in the planner? Because I get a lot of inquiries like that where it's like one of my first questions obviously is, who's your wedding planner? I don't have one. Are you going to get one? We don't know. I strongly suggest you get one. We'll see. It just depends. I think we want to put most of our money into the venue and also the photographer, the
Hmm.
videographer. And it's like, okay. So then in my head, I'm thinking, well, what is your overall budget for your wedding? Is it 100K? Is it 50K? Is it 200K or whatever? Right.
Hmm.
And so when if they give me an overall budget or if I understand what an overall budget without a planner in place, like then I wonder, like, do I follow that kind of rule of it should be like 10 to 15% of what that overall budget is without a planner in place?
Yeah.
So,
I
you
mean,
know,
let's
it's
just
interesting.
let's do the math for the people, right? Let's say it's a
Yeah.
$150,000 wedding and they don't
Hmm.
have a planner, which, woo, scary. For
Okay.
me, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what are they gonna do?" I think the photographer, you're gonna turn into the planner. So you think 10 to 15%, let's do a long shot, right? 15%
Okay.
of 150,000. That's $22,500 on a hundred and fifty
Okay.
thousand.
For
That's a
15%.
lot. 10%, 15,000. I don't know with the economy as it is and food and beverage and service and flowers and labor is going to allow even
Hmm.
$15,000 for a
Wow.
photographer, for
Okay. So that's 10%.
150,000 for a
So we're thinking even
$150,000 wedding.
under that. Wow. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
people don't understand that labor is ridiculously expensive. You
Oh,
think, "Oh,
100%.
well, I could pay, $5,000 for rentals." Oh, no.
Hmm.
That's just for the rentals. Then you have to pay, oh, well, you're paying for the people who are inputting in the system, so sales, that's a
Hmm.
percentage of rentals. Then you have to pay for the labor, then trucking, and then if they have to walk upstairs or if they have to
Hmm.
walk a long distance with those rentals, there's more on top of that. So a
Hmm.
$5,000 order actually turns into an $8,000, $9,000 rental order
Mhm, mhm.
because of labor.
Yeah, and it also so talking about labor, as a photographer or videographer, labor could be the cost of hiring a second photographer, an assistant, or something like that, so that's kind of like a labor cost as well, you
Right.
pay them hourly. Out of my pocket, that could be like $1,500 for a
Yes.
second,
Right.
and that's insane. I remember the days when I was just kinda getting started, like, a second photographer would probably be getting paid, like, $15 an hour.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now and I totally understand and respect second photographers and associates and all that stuff. That's fantastic. But oh my gosh, is that another area where people are pricing themselves based on ego because they have X amount of cameras or lenses or, my
As a
self-worth
second.
is this. Yeah, because like now let's say if I'm going to document a wedding for you or something, right?
Mhm.
And I have to price my package under that 10% margin.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, but now I have to have a second photographer, another videographer for 2 days, maybe 3 days. And let's say the total budget for this wedding for me is like $12,000, something like that. Dude, what is my profit margin on that? I like to be at 70%. That's
Mhm.
like amazing for me. I think typically if people don't want to hear this, if you're that 30 to 40%, you're actually doing pretty good.
Right.
But
Right.
but I don't like to I like to stay closer to 70. And I think most people are too. So it's a hard fine balance of like, well, shoot, if it's a multiple day event, then I got to pay a lot of labor on this, and I'm only going to make not even half or
Mhm.
maybe half of the total entire budget. I don't know. It's interesting.
Right. However, we also have to think about putting food on the table.
Yeah.
We also have to
Sure.
think about, what if this is a really cool wedding
Mm,
and the design is going to add to your portfolio?
mhm.
You thinking about the marketing aspect of that,
Yeah.
and maybe it's with a really awesome wedding planner that you've wanted to work with for a long time, or a venue that you've wanted to work at for a long time. There's going to be those leads that come in
Yeah.
that maybe you will only make 30% or 40%, but hey, that's 30 to 40%. Get a few of those and we're cooking now, you know?
That's true. And also you could look at it as like, well, shoot, maybe I don't have to go spend five, $6,000 on a styled shoot now in Napa Valley
Mhm.
because maybe I'll lose some profit here shooting a real wedding,
Right.
but the designs are in parts, right? You know,
Right.
yeah, you could look at it that way too. I think that's, yeah.
It's just a smart business move.
Yeah.
It's that I think we've been talking about, is our industry overpricing ourselves?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we always talk about our friends, they're our friends, the elite photographers, videographers, and wedding planners that we
Yeah.
all seek out to be, where they could charge
Mhm.
K for just photo.
I know, right?
And the planners who are starting at 40,000 and charging 20% of the total budget. Like,
Wow.
dream. They're making I know a planner, she does 2 weddings per year, and she makes 600K off each wedding.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, "How did you do that?" And she was
Yeah.
very, very tight to the chest on how she did that,
Mhm.
how she
Sure.
does that.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
that's why we're here. We're unlocking secrets and not gatekeeping.
Oh my gosh.
But, as I'm, like, entering my 12th year of Roque events and really
Mhm.
locking in to La Pearl legacy and La Pearl, I am understanding that those are great goals and aspirations to have, but it's kinda like hitting the lottery when you get to
Mhm.
that level, the Jose Villa level, right? The Abby Jew, love them, level.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what can we do where we feel grateful and happy about where we are? I'm
Oh
talking
my
to
gosh.
myself here too, Alex, and you know
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I wanna be the percentage planner, and
Mhm.
we've been transitioning into that, and it's lovely and it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm also working with less couples, and it's just like, I like to be busy, I like to make dreams come true. Maybe I just gotta bring it down a little bit.
I know, I getcha. I'm a sucker for when I get an inquiry of, like, it sounds like there's gonna be a lot of creativity that goes
Yeah,
along with it. Visuals are dope,
yeah.
and everything just looks on par, but their budget is, like, down, and
Yeah,
I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I really wanna do this because it sounds fun,"
yeah.
but,
Yeah, and so we were talking about in the legacy call today, what's your threshold of, you're like, "You know
oh,
what?"
you're right.
Like, I I was asking them specifically. I asked, "What's your threshold? What's your threshold?" And someone in there with, I think they were around 7,500
Mhm.
to 12K was their range.
Yep.
And I said, "Okay, well, here, I'm a lead, and I have 6,000." And he was like, 65 is my
Yeah.
threshold. And I was like, see, if we didn't do that tiny little mini exercise of me throwing
Yeah.
out the 6,000
Yeah.
and you felt more comfortable at 65, then going in to a cold
Mhm.
lead or a wedding planner, like, what you're willing to go down
Yeah. Yeah.
to get more
Because you know
business,
you
to
could.
get more work, or to get more
Yeah.
opportunity.
Right. Well, and then, well, either a couple things could be happening there. Like you could be losing an opportunity with either a planner or making a new relationship with somebody, some other vendor by outpricing yourself. Because so if you lose that opportunity, maybe you lose $500 or $1,000 in profit or something. Yeah, that sucks. But you're going to gain some new relationships, hopefully.
Right.
And then that could bring on more business later and build some more trust and stuff. So,
Right. Or a
yeah.
dream venue for a wedding planner, you
It's a
know?
funky year. It's a
It's a
funky
it
year. You know,
is.
like, remember when we first were getting started? when we were, like, over 10 years ago. I just remember everything was just flowing, just
Yes.
so easy, like, effortless,
Yes.
and now it's like this, like, mind thing of, like, there's just so many little cautionary boundaries to check, and I don't know, it's just so funky. Like
Personality
yeah.
checks and
Yeah, totally.
so here yeah, I remember when $150,000 wedding, I was like, "Dude, I'm
Yeah.
stoked. This is
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
wedding." This is like
Right.
but the money went further.
Mhm. It really did.
Let's see. I'm referring to specifically 7 years ago because my daughter's turning 7, and I was
Mhm.
pregnant the year that we worked together a lot. It was $150,000 weddings, $200,000
Right.
weddings, like 100,000, and that was our sweet spot, and we would do,
Yep.
like, 20 weddings per year,
Mhm.
and I remember when our packages were 15 to 18,000, it was like sold, 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 sold,
Yeah.
sold, sold, sold.
Yep.
It's not like that.
No, not at
I
all.
feel like on my discovery calls, I'm talking to the bride first, and then she's like, "Oh my gosh, I really love you,
Mhm.
but I need to talk to my parents." It's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then I take
Yeah.
it from a book of Alex's La Pearl Legacy
Oh.
course, and I'm like, "Is your mom available to talk right now?"
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Or let's go ahead and schedule a call with her now. Or if she's
Right.
available to jump on the
Yep.
Google Meet, I would love to meet her, moving it forward. And then we have a call with the mom. And then
Mhm.
it's 2 weeks goes by because they're busy. And then I have a call with the dad. And it's
Mhm.
just it's so much more emotional. And you have to price yourself right or they're going to walk away no matter how much they love you.
Yeah. I know. Dude, when I hired my wedding photographer based out of the UK, badass wedding photographer, and I think we paid around 4,500 and everyone thought we were crazy. This was 10 years ago, and
Yeah,
4,500 bucks back then was like, "Whoa, that's pretty expensive for a wedding photographer."
for sure.
I mean, of course, there were others, like, I'm sure Jose Villa was already charging, like, 20 grand or something,
For sure.
plus. But, um, for someone like me, I mean, that was kind of a lot of money. And now that's, like, low end. That's almost like
Seriously.
minimum and stuff, you know?
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
so wild. So, it's
Yeah.
interesting, like, running ads too, like, some paid strategies. It's kinda cool that, you would expect at least a minimum of people, like, willing to spend at least around 4,000 to 5,000 kinda minimum. I
Mhm,
feel like that's almost an industry standard,
mhm,
but, I see people booking 10K plus from paid ads,
mhm.
although it just kinda depends on what's inside that package and stuff, but, I think that, 4,000 to 7K, somewhere around there is kind of that new normal, and that, like, 10K plus threshold is like that 4,500 from what it was, like, 10 years ago. Am I
Mhm.
making sense here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm following, I'm
Yeah.
following. It's interesting that you say that. So, specifically for woke couples, we're
Mhm.
working with like, the minimum budgets that we're working with right now are 200, 225.
Mhm.
Medium would be around that three to $400,000 range.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing their budgets, I always put the photo and video around 15 to 18.
Mhm.
And most couples will pitch in some of their own money
Yep.
or lower somewhere else
Mhm.
to get the
Mhm.
photographers that are at like the $22,000 level, which
Yeah.
is
Oh, I see.
interesting. So I
Mhm.
really do think it is where your budgets are landing with your
Mm.
couples.
Mhm.
And we also talked about this on the call is how to extract more information from either the couple if it's a cold lead and the wedding planner is not involved, or
Mhm.
to get more information from the wedding planner first before you
Yep.
just send your package.
Yeah, totally.
This is a little case study here.
Mhm.
So I'm the wedding planner, have this is a real wedding, a wedding next year. They're local to Napa Valley. And I priced out their budget. And based off their budget and their aesthetic, right? I give them 4 photographers that match their vibe. Dear friend photographer, I said, "Hey, okay, this is what they're looking for. Friday coverage for 2 hours, 8 hours on Saturday, drone footage, whatever." And I said, "Their budget is 12,000." And he was like, "Great, here's my package for 12,000." But
Mhm.
on his website, he still listed his pricing, and so that caused an issue with the couple because now the couple thought that he was, like, trying to make more money off of him,
Interesting, I see.
and we had to I mean, yes, his pricing was technically his old 2024 to sell for 2025, but that's where he if he didn't say his pricing on his website, it would have just been more of a flow situation. "Oh, great, he's coming right in at budget for exactly what we want. Signed, sealed, delivered." But then it
Yeah.
created this, well, I could get the same package what we're asking for 11.
Hmm.
And so now we're backtracking. Do we do 11? Do we add something? What are we doing here? And as a planner, that was a little difficult for me.
Mhm.
So I always say, like, ask what the couple's budget is if the
Mhm.
planner or the cold lead doesn't provide that. Would you
Hmm,
agree?
yeah, interesting. So, yeah, and I think, like, when if you totally, and there's a way to do it too, you know? There's a lot involved. If
Yeah.
you guys wanna know, you gotta jump in and we'll
Join
show you.
legacy. Hey.
But I think it's a case by case basis, so you just
Mhm.
gotta ask the right questions before, yeah, just throwing some random numbers out
Right.
there, or
Because
even I don't
also,
yeah,
what if the budget was 12 and this photographer came back at like 4 or 5?
yeah.
We're kinda like, "Why are they only 4 or 5,000?
Mhm,
Are
yep,
they not qualified enough?" And then it's that psychological stuff that we were just talking about that wasn't here 7 to 10 years ago, that is now
yep,
there.
right. Oh, man.
So,
This
if you
industry,
wanna
why do we
put
do this? Why are we doing this?
because it's the freedom that
Why don't
we
we just
have.
go get a job?
No, we
No,
can't because we're creatives and we're
I know.
entrepreneurs and we're addicted to the rush of that.
Yeah, yeah. So who do you think the weirdos are? The photographers or the planners? I
I think
almost
we're all
feel
weird.
like the most level-headed are the videographers. They're kinda
For
like
sure. I love this. Yes. Yes, video teams are so chill. I feel like there's so much pressure, one, on the wedding planner,
yeah,
right? If you guys all mess up, it's our problem. It's our fault.
yeah.
But then with the shot list and everything, that's
Mhm.
on photographer. And the
I
videographer
hate
just
the shot lists.
follows the photographer around. And yeah, the video teams have it made.
If you guys wanna piss Raquel off on a wedding, take her shot list and be like, "Okay, thanks." No, just kidding.
No, take
Just
the
kidding.
timeline and be like, "Yeah, I'm doing my
Yeah.
own thing today. Please don't
Oh
do
my
that."
gosh. I
Yeah.
know.
Um, let's talk about the ads and the misconceptions that we have with Meta and IG because today we
Well,
saw
yeah,
someone's ads that they started to create
dude,
after listening to
amazing.
the program and being coached
Yep.
one-on-one by you, which is so cool. Thoroughly impressed with
Yeah.
their ad setup and how many different ad photos that they
Variations,
had and the
videos.
oh my gosh, I was
Yeah,
thoroughly impressed.
beautiful. Well, no, like, better than I do.
Yes.
But, and so, yeah, misconceptions, there's a bunch of them out there. It's like, well, first, the big one is ads don't work. They do work. Maybe they didn't work because either you didn't set them up right
Mhm.
or the messaging and the branding is just off. Before anything, like, we work so hard on the brand, the niche, and what the messaging is going to be like. Because that's if you think of ads, it's kind of like a mini extension of your branding. And if it resonates with people, it should hook them.
Right.
It's that simple. But the way to like run ads, there's several. I think ads are pretty just versatile in a way where it's going to work anyway once you hit like publish.
Mhm.
But the performance kind of leans heavily on, yes, some on how it's set up, but then also like the messaging and the branding for sure.
It has to be the
There's
messaging and branding first.
Yeah, 100%. And there's this huge trend, or there's like everywhere on the socials and stuff, the Andromeda update from Meta. And is it a big deal? I mean, I guess kind of. The truth is, not even the people from Meta understand what the heck's going on. I've had conversations with them. I've jumped on one-on-one calls with them. They all give you different, they all have different information. It's so crazy. So not even they know. But the truth is that this has been running in the background a little bit for a while, and then all of a sudden somebody makes a TikTok or a video on this, and then it just blows up, and now it's this big old like thing, and all the coaches right now are shifting and moving things
Hmm.
around. This is a new way. So is it more of a like a marketing opportunity for coaches to be like, this is the way to do it now? But in reality, your old ways might be working. And so shifting people to do something new, you kind of have to test things out and see if it even benefits certain people.
Right.
So, uh,
That is what I
a
like
l
about you. Side note, boost your ego a little bit. You are so in
yeah,
tune with what is going
100%.
on with Meta and
Yeah, totally.
Instagram and what works with ads specifically in the wedding industry.
In the wedding industry, yeah, for
You know what
sure.
you're doing. And
Yeah,
I think that in the legacy program, your
yep,
course videos lays it out really
yeah,
clearly. And then jumping on the
totally.
legacy call, that photographer that set it all up, but he didn't press publish until you gave it a little bit of a once
'Cause I
over.
wanna check it out.
Right,
Yeah,
which was
for him
which was
specifically.
was really
Yeah,
great because then you called out
yeah,
a few things that the other photographers in the group were like, "Oh, now I know how to toggle that off. That was difficult."
right, yeah.
Right?
Because sometimes things and that's that so sometimes performance could be hindered from certain things just
Mhm.
being toggled on or toggled off.
Right.
So if subtle things like that are like some of those toggles are there for a reason,
Mhm.
but it's not for every single industry. It could be great for someone like an e-commerce. Like right now, I would say Meta is pushing hardcore on AI. And yeah, so I think in Legacy, I kind of brand it as almost like AI driven tools. So learn Meta with AI driven
Mhm.
tools. It's kind of a buzzword right now, I'm gonna be honest, okay? But it's true, there's a lot of AI driven tools inside Meta right now, and they all work, but it just kinda depends on the industry. Like, for e-commerce, some of those Meta tools, AI tools are fantastic, but for us in the wedding industry, not all of them work, but some of them do work, and so that's what I kind of focus on, and I love geeking out on stuff like that,
I
just
also
figuring out
think
which one's gonna work.
yeah, I think that AI in a way helps with Meta, but it's all about what your images and your
Yeah, just
messaging
the
is, and
message and the
it
visuals,
kind of makes me
that's everything.
scared a little bit that AI would, like, take over in that way or put a
Yeah,
description up there that's not really resonating with your specific brand, and what I liked about that photographer today is that they went into Canva, and then they
yeah,
had this beautiful script, just a little, like,
mhm,
tagline of, like,
snippet. Yep,
how you they want you to feel on your wedding day, and then it
right.
was, like, documentary style photography, boom,
Yeah,
boom, boom, and I was like, if
and that
I was a
image matches and
it
all that,
matches
right?
the aesthetic,
Yep,
and what I
yep,
liked is that they didn't just have 3 versions of
mhm,
in that ad set, they had, like,
mhm.
10. And I
Yeah,
was like, "Go get it. That looks
yeah, yeah,
good." And so I think that
right,
it's really important when you're in our coaching calls that you get to see what other people are doing and hear how
right,
we feel about it.
totally. Yep, yeah,
And they got some
exactly,
good feedback and they're gonna publish today.
totally, they already published it, text me. But so
Yay.
the interesting thing is that it all comes down to when we start reading the data,
Mhm,
in which I teach people on how to read data, at all the different levels,
mhm,
like the macro level, the micro level, the each individual ads, breaking it down to which ad or which copy got you a lead, where the source was from. Was it from Facebook? Was it from Instagram? Just and I just feel like there's so all these little nuanced things really helps you understand how to either create more ads
mhm.
or just pivot in a certain way where you need to make an adjustment and stuff. So I just can't stand it when I see coaches out there that are they just teach a certain thing this way and that's it. and that's it. And so and they read the data wrong. They don't break it down completely.
Mhm.
And the truth is also, like, if you might be in love with some kind of ad or something like that, but it doesn't perform how you want it to, then that's okay. Like, you don't have to in you're performing well, you're getting a lot of return on investment, the right clients, and dude, don't touch anything, just
Right,
leave it.
right.
Anyway,
No, I
I
feel
love
like
talking
when
about
we
this
set
stuff.
up some of my ads, I got a little antsy, like, well, it's not, there's not a lot of clicks and this and that. And it's been like 4 days.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta
yeah, yeah.
like let
It's
it
wild.
run through its course.
Yeah, you're paying for data
Right.
for, like, a month.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it, which
Exactly.
is why our program is not super, super expensive.
Right.
I just feel like because talking about budget and checking the ego and all that stuff on
Yeah.
pricing, I think coaches need to check their ego too. I know there's a lot of big bro sale techniques out there when it comes to getting people on a call to see if they're the right fit for their program, to see if you could help them. It's such BS, dude. Like, this program like this in our industry should not put people into further debt because life gets in the way.
Mhm.
People have children,
Mhm.
people are slam busy. They might jump into the program, feel a little overwhelmed. They put it on the back burner. Then they feel the guilt of, I just made another bad decision and
Right.
purchased something that's $6,000. I can't even keep up on the lessons. Now I'm stressing out.
Right.
And now when they have a little time to maybe jump in on a lesson, they rush things to try to catch up and make a difference in their business
Right.
because they have that 400, $500,000 payment
Yep.
that they just on a monthly, like if they put it on a credit card for,
Right.
a really a high ticket coach or something. And it's just so stressful. And I don't like that environment in a community
Yeah.
because that brings a lot of like tension in a community. You feel it and you see it.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of
keeping this,
pressure.
it's a lot
Yeah.
of pressure, and not only on the coaches, but on the creatives themselves.
Mhm.
And it's just not a good environment. So sorry, coaches out there that price way too much. Are you pricing on ego?
Mhm.
Like, honestly,
Or are you
the cool
just
thing
trying to
is you.
make millions of dollars? I feel
I
like
mean, I get it. That's fine.
I get it
That's
too. And
cool.
yes, Alex and I are, also trying to have a career out of this. But
Yeah,
we
yeah,
also are so passionate about what we're providing with education
yeah,
and coaching.
yeah.
And we
I
want
know.
more people in the community. We want wedding planners
Yeah,
who
we
are
want it to
trying
feel
to, yeah,
good too,
and photographer and videographers. Yeah.
And we don't want this to be such a burden on the paycheck right
Right.
now because we were not, as coaches, able to check our ego and the cost of it
Hmm.
might what it might cost to work with us. So we keep this low
Right.
month to month, and people could, I mean, I hope they stay in, but honestly, they could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
If for any reason they're just like, oh my gosh, I can't make the payments for these next few months. At least I would hope that they would think like, well, let me reach out to Raquel and Alex. Can I have a little extra attention just to make sure like I'm doing things right? And if something changes, then cool, I could stick with it. Or
Right.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, what we're
Rather
not
than just,
doing is just creating the courses. You guys go through
yeah,
the courses and then see ya, thank you for the 150 a
right.
month.
That too.
I think that
Yeah.
we're both just really invested in our community and having the weekly live coaching calls and the open Slack channel, huge. And we're going to be, as the industry is evolving and changing and growing, and more case studies that you and I have to bring to the table, we're going to put
Mhm.
them in the course. This is not a set
Totally.
it and forget it
Mm.
community.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
We're here. So
Yeah.
and we've been doing it for a long time
We've been doing it for a long
and we
time.
still do it.
And we've been
So
doing it a long time together. So Alex and I have known
together.
each other
So we
for
know.
over a decade, right about when we
Yeah,
both were like really getting into our careers. And
100%.
we had to coach each other.
Yeah,
We coached each
I
other a
know.
lot.
Yep. Yeah,
And I think
we
that's
still
what
do.
we still do. Yeah. And then we decided, right? Like, let's do this for everybody because
Yeah.
We want an
Yeah.
approachable, affordable coaching
Yeah.
education platform
I
for
think we
people.
just wanna be transparent with people and show people that we're at the same level. Hey, we're on the fight together.
Yeah.
We're all trying to feed our babies,
Right.
pay the bills.
Right.
So which is why we still take on weddings. Like, I don't know. I love weddings. I think they're fun. You know how I shoot my weddings. It's more about creativity and just being weird and funky.
Right.
So, I mean, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I'll continue to shoot weddings like that.
Yeah. And
And
I
it's
love
not the
love.
ultra
So,
luxury, but I'm in the premium
yeah,
markets, which is cool.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
And I hope that you take the opportunity to explore the La Pearl Legacy program. Alex and I
Yes.
have your back through and through. And hey, we have our live coaching calls every Wednesday at 10 o'clock a.m. PST. So hop on
PST.
the Legacy
Yeah.
membership to be on our coaching call next week.
Yep, exactly. I can't wait to talk about, like, styled shoots and stuff. I wonder if
Oh,
we could think about
for
that next time.
sure. Because everyone,
Why?
we
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we have our La Pearl retreat in Palm Springs,
There you
November
go.
11th, 12th, and 13th at the beautiful Karakia there. And this is where photographers and videographers are going to be able to sit down with me, Alex, and Elise Morgan and have a great learning education session and then a full on style shoot with models. We've got
Yep,
personal florals, we've got ceremony, we've got cocktail hour, and we have dinner. And it is the design is so, so amazing. So, yeah,
totally.
we still think styled shoots are the way to go. You just have to do it in the right way and tell a story.
Yep. But Raquel, I hear that styled shoots are not a thing anymore. They just suck and then fake the fun. They make you look like you're faking it. Like, I think we should save that conversation for next time,
I
right?
think that that's our next
Yeah.
topic because I have a
Yeah.
lot to say about
Cool.
that. I have so
Yeah.
much. In fact, I have a whole downloadable course on the Legacy Shop available for everybody because I have so much to say about styled shoots. I mean, it's really what
Yeah.
made Roke Events what Roke Events is today. So
Yeah.
that is our
Cool.
next topic for our
Yeah.
second episode.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Right
Thanks,
on, my
everyone.
friends.
See you soon.
Well, hopefully you all enjoyed that, and we will be doing this again on a weekly basis.
See ya.